So a thread on the underground came out, and it asked a question: is Jorge Masvidal a bully? Now, this question comes out with two things in mind. First off, the Leon Edwards, the three-piece and a soda, and second off, the confrontation that he had recently with Kamaru Usman. And quite possibly there's even a third thing, which is the story of the club that old Chael shared. But I have to tell you, I mean, for a bully, he sure picks a fight with some awfully hard guys. Isn't that the rule in bullying? You don't pick on hard guys. So, no, I don't think that Masvidal would qualify as a bully, but it does make you wonder, how should Usman carry himself prior to this fight? Because this is a very big fight, and Usman's in a little bit of a tough spot. I don't like when Usman has to get in altercations outside of the ring. We saw a little something with Ben Askren backstage. There was the Colby Covington at the Palms in the buffet line, you guys will recall. And all of a sudden, he's face-to-face with Masvidal. But what is Usman supposed to do? Right? I come out and tell you, I don't like to see him in this spot because it's just out of character for him. He's a very regular, very good-hearted guy. He loves his daughter. He loves his mother. He loves his team. He's got his head down. He focuses. He doesn't go out at night. And he's the top in the line for his sport. He's even gone on to say, he told Joe Rogan this, I thought it was interesting, that post-fight career, what he would like to do with life is to be a marriage counselor. And he backed that up by saying, actually, just a counselor of any kind. I'm actually very good at looking at people's situations, removing myself from it, standing back, and giving them advice. I do it with my friends all the time. I think I could do it on a professional level. I thought that was very fascinating. And also, I think what a good heart. Wants to go in and help other people with their relationship. I mean, Usman's a good guy. Can we at least agree on that? Usman's a good guy, but Usman keeps getting put in tough spots. When he had the run-in with Askren, by example, people were trying to hold Usman down at that time. And yes, he's going to have a chip on his shoulder. He had done some heavy lifting. He won the toughest tournament in all of sports, known as the Ultimate Fighter. He's undefeated fighter, lost one fight, but it was so long ago everybody forgot it even happened, so we were calling him undefeated. And Askren slides in out of nowhere, and Askren took all the shine. And Usman's going, oh, no, not so fast. I mean, you could see where he would have a chip on his shoulder. I don't know fully what happened with he and Colby at the buffet at the Palms. There was no audio on that video, if you guys will recall. You couldn't quite hear anything. So if we don't have the detail, we kind of got to throw it out, right? So he gets a pass on that one, perhaps, but he gets a pass. And then when you're face-to-face with Masvidal, and you know that's your next opponent, you know he's the BMF, and you know he's not afraid to get down backstage. You now have a level of responsibility to protect yourself at all times. And I don't like these street altercations. I'm very squeamish on that. I'm a real prude. I like to see the trained licensed athletes compete in a trained and licensed environment and absolutely nothing else. But if you are in Kamaru Usman's shoes, and you know this guy over here, the BMF, is a legit BMF, and here we are face to face. I got to watch this guy. And if he flinches, I got to take him serious. You just do. What's Usman going to do? Going to stand his ground. Hope somebody gets involved. Hope somebody pushes him apart. Keep your eyes on him at the hole, right? You're going to follow some of the basic rules. Be ready to put your chin down, put your hands up. I mean, there's things that Usman does have an ability to take into consideration, psychologically speaking, when you come face-to-face with the BMF. There's just stuff there. But, okay, here becomes another question. Masvidal's the bad guy going into that fight. The problem with Masvidal being the bad guy, so you instantly assuming that you default to the good guy role, the problem with that is he's loved. Okay? There is nothing in business that is more monetizable than a cool heel, but they only come along once every decade. You're only going to get a Stone Cold Steve Austin one time, and 10 years later, somebody else, then all of a sudden they get their turn. So when you have Masvidal, who is a heel, for sure he's a bad guy, that everybody loves. Now, is he a bad guy? I mean, good guy, bad guy in the world of sport just means, does the crowd boo him or does the crowd cheer him? Masvidal's a bad guy, but the crowd's going to cheer him. You're stuck. You're stuck in a very hard spot if you're Usman and if you're looking to invoke emotion. I don't know that Usman is looking to do any of those things. Usman's in the driver's seat. He's the champion. He's going to headline. He's going to participate. Usman's in a great spot, and he may say, to hell with all of you. I don't care if nobody shows up to this fight. I don't care if everybody shows up to this fight. I fought in front of small crowds. I've fought in front of sold-out arenas. I don't care. I'm just coming to compete. That might be his stance. But let's say it's not. Let's say Usman wants to play his part in this. What's his part? What should it be? Should it be to just be authentic and be real? Come in cool suits with cool sunglasses, say cool things, and go fight your ass off? Yeah. Yes. The answer is yes to that. Does he try to reveal Masvidal in some way? Does he try to call Masvidal a bully, thus making himself the victim? And what do we know about victims? We sympathize with them, which means we then in turn like them. That could be one way to go with it. But it's a very tough spot. You usually are either the good guy or the bad guy, which means your opponent is whichever one you're not. Masvidal grabbed up bull chairs. He's a bad guy. Everybody loves him.